and welcome to What to Expect When You're Expecting a RunDisney Marathon. I'm going to give you a breakdown of things that I wish I knew before I ran my very first RunDisney Marathon. From the expo to the start of the race to what's going on the course. So let's start off. The marathon weekend, the RunDisney Marathon weekend, starts officially on Wednesday, January 9th. That's where you can go and pick up your bib, your race package, your shirt at the RunDisney Expo at Wide World of Sports, right there on Osceola, right off of I-4. So you can pick up your bibs there for the marathon anytime between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday before the marathon. Of course, if you're running some of the other races, you'll need to pick them up before your race. I do encourage you, though, if you are interested in purchasing some of the merchandise, some of the tumblers, the magnets, the I Did It t-shirts, some of the commemorative items, I'd highly suggest that you get there on Wednesday as the expo opens, as these things sell super quick. Yeah, I mean, they don't last the day. Some of the items don't last during the day. So if you want some of these things, get there early on Wednesday, January 9th, and yeah, and pick up your bib, have some fun. And it's also a good time, if you're for any out-of-town folks, is a good chance, even local folks, if you forgot something at the house, if you live in Montana. I don't know if Montana's a real state. I've never been there or know anybody from there. But let's say you're from another state that's made up, South Dakota, and you're traveling to Walt Disney World for this race, and you forgot something. You forgot your race belt. Hit up the expo. There's race belts. There's beans. There's everything. There's just, if you forgot your sparkle skirt, they got sparkle skirts. So yeah, check out that stuff as well. The expo has everything that you might have forgot at home. But to pick up your bibs, if you're running the Dopey Challenge, you're actually going to pick up your bibs at the HP Fieldhouse there at Wide World of Sports. All other races, you will be picking up your bibs at the Visa Athletic Center. So HP Fieldhouse for Dopey. Everybody else, including RunDisney Marathon, half marathon, 5K, 10K, Goofy Challenge at the Visa Athletic Center. While you're there, you can actually sign up for runner tracking, or you can do it on the RunDisney website as well. But what runner tracking will do is, if you want to track yourself, or if you want one of your loved ones or your friends to track you as well, it'll track you at the 5 mile mark and at the half marathon mark, at the halfway mark, to let you know your estimated finishing time. But of course, I would estimate that the second half of the race is going to be your slower half. That's when the sun comes out, there's more characters and stuff to do. So one thing that we've learned, a little pro tip, is that you can use Track My iPhone. And well, that will allow you to do, and if you turn that on, somebody who's tracking that will be able to find out your exact location and be able to track you, so they know when you're coming to the finish line, so they can cheer you on and be there as you finish. Now the race will start at 5:30 a.m. on January 13th, 2019, a day that you will remember forever if this is your very first marathon. I remember my very first marathon. I almost died. But no, if this is your very first marathon, the race starts at 5:30, but that doesn't mean get there at 5 o'clock. You'll want to get there a couple hours early. As just a reminder, 25,000 of your closest friends will also be arriving at the exact same time to park in the exact same parking lot that you want to park in, as well as spectators and friends and family that want to come out and watch. So you want to get there a couple hours early. After you get through security, and after you get through bag check, whether or not you check a bag or not, it's still a 25-minute walk. So anticipate, after you get through security, you still have a 25-minute walk to your corrals. So yeah, I mean, you know, so make sure you, if you're, you know, running late, you factor in that extra almost half an hour time to get back there to the corrals. Now, the race will start at Epcot. You'll park at the Epcot parking lot and you'll walk back to the start of the corrals. This year there are 8 corrals, A through H. They will be broken up into mini waves as well. Now, I know at this point you're probably wondering, will I be able to make that 16-minute per mile, right? Yeah, 16-minute per mile pace, and I'm here to tell you that you can. Don't freak out over it because they give you 7 hours of time to run your race. But that 7 hours actually starts the moment that the last competitor, that the last marathoner starts in Corral H. So once the very last person crosses the start line, that's when they start that timer. So if you were in A, in B, in E, in F, you still have that bubble of time. So please pace yourself. You don't have to run. You can do the run-walk method. It could get cold. How cold? I don't know. I'm not a weatherman, but it could be down in the 30s, the 40s. So prepare to layer yourselves extra sweatpants, sweaters, blankets. In fact, I recommend going to IKEA, picking up some cheap blankets there. They have one called the Vitmosa. It's $2.49. So yeah, grab a couple of those before they sell out. I couldn't find any last year. And bundle up there if it's cold, and then just toss those as you get to the start line. And volunteers will actually pick those up and then donate everything. Donate the sweatpants and the blankets and stuff like that. So that's actually really cool. So you may want to just strip down as you run, but of course it's Disney. Please keep it PG. So, so now that we've started, we've crossed the start line, we are ready. You will see some of the best entertainment any race has to offer. And one of my favorite areas is usually around mile 2. There'll be some characters, possibly Captain Jack Sparrow has been there in the past. Last year they actually had one of those vintage Mickey head hot air balloons that were made famous, I think, in like the 80s. So you were able to take pictures of the hot air balloon, take little selfies or whatever on the way past there. And just past that, if you ever wanted to take a selfie or a picture in front of the iconic Walt Disney World parking marquee, this is your chance. So yeah, a lot of people stop and take pictures, take selfies, take their friends' pictures in front of that giant marquee. You really can't get out of the car when you're trying to park and take your selfie and get back in the car. That's a no-no. That's frowned upon. So this is your chance to do it. But I do want to remind you that if you are going to stop and take your selfie, or if you're going to actually just stop at any character stop, or if you are running intervals, that when you do stop, just raise your right hand. That will let the runners behind you know that, hey, this individual is going to be stopping soon. So yeah, just a little courtesy hand raise. Hey, I'm stopping. Move right along. Take your selfie. I do. So another thing I want to touch upon right now is right after you cross the Magic Kingdom parking marquee, there will be a water stop, probably your second one on the course. But no need to stop at the first table that you come to. You can if there's nobody around you. But the first couple tables, there will be several tables of water, and then after that, several tables of Powerade, and they will be on both sides of the course. So no need to make sure that you dash to the right or to the left. But again, be careful here because it is a water stop. It is very wet, so be careful when running or walking there. And I know it may be cold, it may be 40 degrees, and you're thinking, I don't need to stop, I feel fine. I implore you, stop at the water stop. Stop for the Powerade. Your body will certainly thank you. And then after that water stop, we'll head into the Magic Kingdom parking lot, where there are a ton of great character opportunities. In the past, there's been Wreck-It Ralph, there's been Disney Villains. The past couple of years have been Oogie Boogie, and Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, these lines tend to get long, but I'm going to tell you that they go rather quickly. So if you see a line of 50 people and you're like, oh, I'll never get through this line, feel free to go ahead and stop. Take those picture opportunities, because you don't know where you're going to get them later on, especially if you're a big fan of those characters. The character opportunities, the photos go through rather quickly. Oh, and make sure you have your bib available to be seen, as if you're an annual pass holder or you have photopass privileges, your pictures are free. So yeah, your Run Disney pictures are free on the marathon course. If you're, the instructions, the back of the bib will have the instructions on how to get those. Yeah, you just have to put your bib number and a code into the photopass on My Disney Experience. All right, so yeah, so then from there we'll run into Magic Kingdom, and one of the coolest sights. As you run down Main Street, you will see the castle dead in front of you. It's amazing. It's all lit up, and not only that, there's people everywhere, not just the runners, but there are cheer squad members, there's family, there's friends, all along Main Street going all the way down. They're cheering, they got signs, they got banners, they got noisemakers. It is one of the coolest feelings ever as you're running down Main Street, USA, on the way to the castle. From there you'll go on to Tomorrowland. The characters out there. You go through, what is next? New Fantasyland. You'll head out through there, and then you will work your way through Cinderella's castle, where you will have some of the coolest photo opportunities. If you stay right, you can run down the ramp, and PhotoPass will take your pictures running with Cinderella's castle in the background. Or you can veer left and stop at one of the stationary areas where you can stop and you can do the jumping thing where you click your heels or whatever with the castle in the background. It's really cool. Highly recommend you stop for that picture. It's really cool. Those go super quick, so stop for the castle picture. You'll thank me. So from there you'll run through Frontierland, and then you'll get ready to head out of the Magic Kingdom. But before you do, one of the coolest floats that they usually have, they sometimes have the princess float from the parade, and some of the princesses will be out there. Past couple of years they've had the Maleficent float that breathes fire. I don't know the status of the dragon right now, but they've had that in the past, and get your picture with that. It's really, really, really cool. So whatever they have out there, those lines tend to be pretty long as well. So depending on how many pictures you've already taken, you may want to skip that one. So then you'll head out and leave the Magic Kingdom. And this brings you to about mile 7 or 8, where you'll pass the Grand Floridian, Shades of Green, Polynesian. And this area, there's a lot of character stops through here. But this area tends to get kind of narrow, and there's a lot of walkers through this area. So don't get discouraged, don't get mad. Just, if you're forced to walk, you're forced to walk through this area. Remember, having fun. Don't get mad. Let's have fun. Support your fellow runners. Don't get mad at anything that anybody is doing. But yeah, some photo opportunities there through mile 7 or 8. And then from there, this will take you onto Bear Island Road. This is a tough stretch, as it's just road and trees for miles. Now there are some pretty cool character opportunities here. I've stopped for several characters here in the past. Villains, I think Jack Sparrow and Barbossa, I think that they moved them there last year, the past couple of years. So there are some very cool character opportunities as you run through Bear Island Road. It's a long stretch though, but you're going to work your way to Animal Kingdom. And how will you know that you're getting to Animal Kingdom? You will smell it. I'm not talking about the animals. You are going to run by the sewage treatment plant, and you will know, oh, it's going to be, oh yeah, it's going to wake you up. If the coffee, if the energy beans, if nothing has woken you up, that'll waken you up. But don't worry, that smell will soon go away as the smell of live animals hit you as you enter Animal Kingdom. Yes, live animals will actually be there to greet you, usually a pig, a donkey, I think an eagle, an owl. They have a bunch of things there to welcome you into Animal Kingdom. One of the cool things about this race is that if you time it right, Expedition Everest opens at 9 a.m. Well, it happens to be during the time when the Walt Disney World Marathon is running through Animal Kingdom. If you time it right, you can actually ride Expedition Everest during the Walt Disney World Marathon. And what other race could you actually ride a roller coaster? Which makes Walt Disney World the greatest race of all time. It'll actually even track on your Garmin or your watch and really mess up your statistics. It'll be like, oh my God, you ran so fast. You ran 60 miles an hour. But what I recommend, and something that I did, is I actually have a fast pass for 9 a.m. So it's good from 9 to 10. So anytime I get there between 9 and 10, I can just go on the fast pass line and cut off the other line, because since the park is open, if you decide to wait in the line, you will have to wait in line, or just go through the single rider line, and they'll often let you just go right on. But get that fast pass. So highly recommend getting that fast pass. As you leave Animal Kingdom, you'll make your way onto Osceola Parkway. Osceola Parkway is another tough stretch because at this point the sun has started to come out and the heat is starting to build up. And there's nothing there to see on Osceola Parkway. There's no parks. But there is the McDonald's right after you leave Animal Kingdom, and sometimes there will be heroes that are passing out free fries. And I just want to hug those people that are handing out the fries, because at this point you're hungry. You've passed the halfway mark and you are hungry, and there's these heavenly angels sent from above that are giving you fries and Twizzlers and stuff like that right at this point. So thank you if you are watching. So you'll run down Osceola Parkway. There's character opportunities there, again, because there's really not much else. And then that will take you into Wide World of Sports, right after about mile 17 and a half. So actually, you'll go in about 17 and a half and come out at 21. So it's about 3.5 miles. So it's a little bit more than a 5K that you will be spending in Wide World of Sports. And a lot of people don't like this area. It's really skinny at times. You're just running on a sidewalk as opposed to a large road. So a lot of people tend to dislike it, and there's a lot of weird terrains at times and a lot of twists and turns, so you're not running straight. However, lots of bananas, and the sponges, they give you the water sponges to cool you down, or towels, and they feel amazing. But my favorite part, and the reason I run these Walt Disney World Marathon races, is for the characters. And Wide World of Sports has some of the best character costumes. Mickey and his friends are usually there. In the past, I've met Mickey and Donald in baseball gear. I met Football Goofy, Chip and Dale were dressed as referees. A lot of really cool costumes in Wide World of Sports. So for that, it's one of my favorite parts of the race. And that when you leave, you're at like mile 21. So you got 5 more miles. And at this point, there will be tons of people within Wide World of Sports telling you, you are almost done. But you're not. Don't let them tell you that. They're going to be like, oh, you're almost done. Those people have never run a marathon. You still have 5 miles. You still have 8 kilometers to go. You're not almost done. But you know what? You're almost done. So from there, after you leave Wide World of Sports, you're going to go into Hollywood Studios for about a cup of coffee. You're going to run down or past, what is that, the Tower of Terror, run down and exit. But there are some cool characters that will meet there. Sometimes you'll see some of the Star Wars characters there. A couple of years ago, they had Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So there are some cool photo opportunities in there as well. So yeah, so take your photo ops there. From there, you're going to go to Epcot. Now, how do I get from I almost said MGM Studios. How do I get from Hollywood Studios to Epcot? Very easy. Boats. No. There's actually a running trail or a walking trail, but in our case, a running trail that goes from Hollywood Studios over to the boardwalk. It's actually right next to where the friendship boats go, so you'll see those actually going as you are running along. So you'll run that course. And it can be very, very, very narrow there. So again, be courteous of other people. There will be some walkers. If you are walking, please don't take up the entire way. Like if you're walking with you and your spouse, you and your friends, just don't take up the entire way, as there will be people running. It's very tight, very narrow. There's no place to go. There's water. I guess you could jump in the water and swim, but it's not a triathlon. It's a marathon. So, but from there you'll then get to the boardwalk. And depending on the time of day or if it's raining, the boardwalk can be very slippery, so be careful. And then from here, there will be more people telling you, you are almost done, you're almost there, but you're not. But you kind of are, but you're not. But you're going to go into Epcot. And once you're in Epcot, you're pretty much almost there. There will be more people handing out Twizzlers here, by the way, and like Snickers and chocolate pretzels and heavenly items. So you're going to go in through International Gateway over by the United Kingdom and run all the way around World Showcase. And this is a good time to remind you to bring a couple dollars to put in your running pouch for the race, because this is the time if you need that beer. They have margaritas in Mexico. Stop and get that margarita and just enjoy the rest of the race. Just you can walk the rest of the race and just sip in your margarita, because you really don't want to chug it. You want to sip your margarita and enjoy the rest of the race. You could even cross the finish line with your margarita or your beer. Thousands of people do it, so why not you? So, yeah, we're okay. Yeah, so there's a couple more characters within there. Then you'll head towards Spaceship Earth. And right as you get to Spaceship Earth, you'll veer right and you will see, sent from the heavens above, the Hallelujah Choir. If you don't know what the Hallelujah Choir is, you will, and you will speak about them for the rest of your life. Shortly after the Hallelujah Choir is the finish line. So after you see the Hallelujah Choir, you are officially almost there. About a quarter of a mile to go, and no need to run down and sprint down the finish line to show how cool you are, but you can. Yeah, but just enjoy it. There's going to be thousands of people there cheering you on as you finish, and yeah, then you've done it. You've crossed the finish line. You did it. 26.2 miles. From there, there'll be people there to give you your well-deserved medal, because only less than 1% of the entire population has completed a marathon, and you will be one of those people. You'll be in the 1% club. I think that's the one. I don't know. So after that, you'll go on, and there'll be somebody to take your photos as well. There'll be Powerade and stuff at the end of that. Take a Powerade, drink it. Drink all the Powerades. Save some for me, but drink all the Powerades. There'll be somebody to take your photo with a Run Disney backdrop. Dopey Challenge and Goofy Challenge folks, there'll be separate tents for you to go through there. And they'll compare you. They'll look at your picture and make sure that you finished all the races. And after that, you will head to the family reunion area. Well, you will meet your friends or just head on out. Sometimes, I don't want to say sometimes, many times, Mickey and Dopey and some of their friends will be out in the family reunion area taking pictures with guests as well with your medals. So, the well-deserved medal. And then after that, feel like it, if your legs still have it in them after running 26.2 miles, go on to the parks. Show off, wear your bling. Show it off. Just one thing before you do though, I beg of you, go to the room, go to your hotel room, and go take a shower, please. You might not be able to smell yourself, but we can smell you. And when you're on the Tower of Terror with people who have run the race, It's not pleasant. But congratulations, you did it. You are a marathoner. And thank you for watching what to expect when you're expecting a RunDisney Marathon. Thank you.
Hey, this is Brett Iwan, and you're watching the Milo Beasley Show. Hi, this is Brett Iwan, and you're watching the Milo Beasley Show.